going on, guys? Welcome back to the vlog. My name is Ricky and today we are going to be still working on the MR2. There she is. One of the things I got to do today is installing the OBD2 canvas, the plug itself. And we need to fix a small coolant leak we had in one of the lines. And we believe the car is on limp mode. We don't know for sure. And which is one of the reasons why I need to finish the OBD2 plug, finish installing it so I can check to see what readouts do we get with it. Because I think the throttle's only going to 20% right now. And also the RPM gauge, when we moved the Avalon RPM gauge to the MR2 in order for it to work, because with the MR2 gauge, it wasn't reading. So we ended up buying one from the Avalon, and you have to take the entire thing apart. So we need to readjust or calibrate the needle to the RPM, that way it's reading accurate. Some of the stuff we gotta do to the MR2 is the power windows. They were working before we did the engine swap, and after we swapped the motor, the windows don't wanna work whatsoever. All right guys, so I just finished plugging in the battery and everything in. And one thing I noticed right away is that our fan is coming on the key on, both fans on high, which there's something wrong. That means the relay is kicking in, which means the sensor is either wrong or it's wired incorrectly up front. So I probably have something backwards on the ECU, on the sensor in the back of the ECU that sends the signal to the ECU, that sends the signal to the fans. So I have to check that wiring out. Oh, they are okay. So it was because the passenger switch was unplugged. Both switches and the motors is all one big circuit. So if this window switch is unplugged, that one will not work even though it's plugged in. If vice versa, everything is one big circuit. All right, so next, I'm gonna re-look at the wiring for the fan and the coolant switch that sends the fan signal, the fan switch. I'm gonna look at that wiring, make sure I did everything correctly to see if I can fix this key on, fan on issue. And then from there, I'll start jumping into the OBD2 plug. All right, so right now I just connected the resistors, the 120 ohm resistor to the OBD2 canvas, high and low. We are going to test for power, see if it actually works. And then from there, we'll make everything look nice and pretty. Power on, key on. And let's plug this in. That does one hand, come on. Whoa. We have power, which is a good thing. Error. That's not good. So my resistors did not work, or maybe I installed them wrong. I mean, I don't know how can you screw that up, but I'm gonna go back to the computer, look at the diagram that it was sent to me, and see if I did something wrong.
One eternity later.
All right, so myself and Evan, we've been playing with the towing with the MR2 for a while now. So the car is idling really high, and it was idling way higher than this earlier. It was probably idling like around 3,000 RPMs before. Me and Ed went back through the throttle wiring that myself, Louie, and Mickey did at the NA garage, and we double checked everything. Everything turned out to be perfect. Talked to our buddy Mark, the one that's helping us with information on the swap, and he stated that it takes about 15 minutes to the ECU to actually learn the motor, and it'll adjust. He claimed that it'll adjust the add-on on its own. It's been on for about 4 minutes without us touching it, and the idle's already going down. So it seems to be working. So right now we're just still waiting to see if the idle will go down even lower.
A little later.
All right, so I'm assuming the overflow bottle for the coolant filled up and it dumped it somewhere behind the wheel, because this overflow bottle is really hot and I can hear it. Yeah, it's hot. So I don't think the thermostat is opening. The heater core won't start working, it's going in and out. So we bypass the heater core because the line that goes, the metal line that goes from here all the way to the front of the car, it has a small leak. So we're fixing that tonight. So we bypass it so we can keep going. So obviously that's working. Both of these lines are hot, so it is circulating, but I guarantee the thermostat is not working very well, so more work for the MR2. All right, so me and Mickey just finished, well, he's finishing installing the thermostat, the new one. We think that's what was wrong with it, why all this, everything was overpressurizing and not going to the front, and one side was cold and the other one was hot, and blah 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 blah.
Ricky,
send it.
we went against everything we preach.
Which is?
Because we weren't familiar with this engine, we didn't even think to change the thermostat. Whenever you have the engine out of a car, it's always a good idea to change the moving parts and the thermostat and stuff like that. So water pump, thermostat.
Which we usually do.
We usually do, and we didn't on this one, and it came back to bite us.
Yep.
So now we're going back and doing it now. Had we done this when the motor was out, it would have been lickety split, 15 minutes, done job.
Done,
Now
yep.
we've spent the last hour because everything's cramped in here and tight, hard to get to.
Boom.
But I think we got it. What we did do, and we probably should have showed you guys our scientific experiment that we did. We actually put the thermostat in the vise, grabbed a hot torch or heat torch, and actually heated up the back of our old thermostat. And Ricky had a thermo gun that he was putting on the thermostat while I was heating it up, and it got up to about, what, 265 degrees before it opened.
Yeah, above that, yeah.
Which, that means it wasn't opening with the temperature of the coolant. We got this thing up to about 210 degrees, and we shut it down because anything north of that could potentially harm the head gasket. So Evan just ran out, grabbed us a new thermostat. We went ahead and I'm swapping that out. I'll be finished up. We can put fluids back in this system and make sure we've got solid flow to the radiator.
Hey, oh, is that Kool-Aid?
That's that peak OET.
The next day.
All right, it's the next day, and Mickey and Ricky got the MR2. I don't want to say completely buttoned up by any means. There's still a lot of little things we need to do, but we got the coolant bled. We figured out that idle situation, and we're pretty much, I guess you call it the second drive right now. And if all goes well, we'll be able to floor the car for the first time. But just already, this thing sounds so good. I love the gear shifting as well. It's really tight. This short shifter is really nice from Superclass. Brakes feel nice. Just that exhaust note sounds so good. There's just a little partial throttle, and man, that thing sounds so good. Was that a little backfire? This thing sounds sick. Before we go too much further on this little drive, I want to pull over to our little cinematic spot, and we'll have Victor do some really nice videography of the MR2 in its current state. So we're just about to pull up there and show you guys what it looks like. Honestly, what's crazy about this setup is that it's practically a stock Camry motor, intake, exhaust, headers, and a tune, and it drives like a stock car. Up here, when we get onto a little straightaway, we're gonna floor it for the first time, so let's see how she does. This thing sounds so good. Wow. Whoa, that sounds crazy.
Dude, I love zoom at the end. Yeah.
This thing is sick.
Sick rip.
It sounds so good. Okay, so for those of you guys who are just joining our YouTube channel or you haven't seen this entire build process, I'm gonna do kind of a quick little walk around and bring you guys up to speed. This has been a really, really cool project. We bought it from a girl who was basically selling the car for I think under $1,000. I think we paid $500 or $700 for the car. And it was blue. It had been repainted already like probably 3 times when we bought the car. Stock NA, so non-turbo MR2. And basically we brought this thing back to life. And now we've swapped it with a 3.5 liter V6 from the Toyota Camry, Lotus Evora, RAV4, or this particular engine is from a Toyota Sienna minivan, which is pretty funny. But it's twice the power, twice the torque of the original 5S FE motor that was in here, and it looks awesome. So we've got the Greddy front lip, Greddy side skirts, lots of composites parts on the car, so the side skirt extensions, the rear extensions. This is the Autopista wing and the F355 engine cover from Composites, the kooky taillights, Cosmos wheels, Fortunato coilovers, Stop Tech rotors and pads all around. We also did upgrade the calipers to the 93 plus turbo calipers, so that's a really common mod, and the brakes feel awesome on this car. This is the Composites hood vent, Lotus style hood vent. We did keep the pop-up headlights, which I know a lot of you guys are very happy about, and I love them. Now the other thing, a lot of comments I saw about what color this is. So this is Toyota Cement Gray. I think it's on the new Tacoma and a couple other Toyota models, and we brought it to BCC Unlimited, the same place that painted the Bad Apple. They did an amazing job. The paintwork came out so good on this car. Continuing out the front end, we replaced the turn signals, we added some new fog lights, and some side marker indicators, kind of in that smoke look. I think that really modernizes the front end. Other than that, let's talk about the interior for a second. So we went with the Sparco QRTCs. These have a carbon back, which you can kind of see peeking through the back here. We have a suede Sparco steering wheel and a Sparco quick release, which is a really, really nice unit. There's no slop or play in this. We really, really like using these Sparco products. And we have a Ionin head unit, which we have received a ton of questions about. So let's go ahead and insert a little clip that gives you a little more information about the head unit.
In a previous video, you guys saw us install a Ionin doubled-in head unit in our MR2. And we got a lot of questions about that. I'm gonna take a quick second and tell you guys a little bit about the head unit that we put in the car, which is absolutely amazing. It's using the new Android 9.0 system as an operating system, which is as cutting edge as it gets. The Android 9.0 system allows you to operate the internet via a Wi-Fi connection in the car, as well as allowing you to install any apps like Netflix, YouTube, right inside the head unit, so that when you're driving or your passenger is bored, they can watch Throttle on YouTube. The head unit also utilizes Bluetooth 5.0 technology, which allows you to answer and make phone calls while you're driving, sync up your Spotify account or any other account that you use for listening to music. And one of the wonderful things about this Ionin head unit is it comes with a dongle that allows you to sync up your Apple CarPlay and your Android Auto directly through the head unit. Another feature that we love about our Ionin head units is the navigation. So it has a seamless navigation integration right on the screen for you. This head unit does it all. If you guys want to know a little bit more, you can check out their website, click the link down below, and show you all the features that the Ionin head units come with. We love ours. You guys should give them a shot. You'll love it too.
All right, so last but not least, on the inside, we had SOS Customs redo the door panels. We do have to install our tweeters still, but these are back and they look really good. They even put our logo on there, which is really awesome. We did the Super Class short shifter, and that's pretty much it for the inside. So we kept it simple, but overall, it's just a really, really cool car. And it's crazy to think that in less than 2 weeks, we're gonna be giving it away to one of you guys who are watching this right now. So if you want to learn more about how you could be taking home this car, check out the link in the description. The sweepstakes ends on December 2nd, which is Cyber Monday. I also want to say a massive shout out to 2 people, Mark from Frankenstein Motorworks and Alex from Wilhelm Raceworks. So both of these 2 companies, I guess collectively between the 2 of them, pretty much have everything that you would need if you want to convert your own MR2 from either the 3S GTE or the 5S FE into the 2GR setup. So they have really good tutorials as well as parts that are very specific for this swap, and they actually made this process relatively painless. So I would highly recommend going and checking those two guys out. Specifically Mark from Frankenstein Motorworks, he actually has a YouTube channel and he has built a series on how to convert your car from the factory motors to the 2GR. So if you want to check that out, I will put the link to Mark's channel in the video description, and please take a look, subscribe if you're interested. I know he's still pumping out a lot of content, and Mark's actually done some really cool swaps too. And we appreciate you guys for sticking around all the way to the end. Stay tuned because the building an MR2 in 15 minutes is going to be the next video up on this project, and that's going to give you guys an entire summary of all the work that went down in the past year on how to turn this thing from a total junker into what it is today. So thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.